Hi everyone, welcome back to Ayomi's Corner. If you are new here, my name is Ayomi. Please like this video and subscribe below. Moving on to season 2, we had Ashley G and Rick. They had dated for 4 years before the show, and they were on the show for the guy Rick, to prove his loyalty because he had cheated in the past, to prove his fidelity and for them to get engaged. But the opposite happened. The girl, Ashley G, turned out to be a scum. She cheated on their first night on the island. Not just cheat, not simple cheat. She had sex. Like, she didn't just kiss anyone or like touch anyone. She had sex on their first night. And her boyfriend had to watch it at the bonfire. Like, it was so crazy. Like, why not even calm down? And her excuse was that during the day when they were asked to pick one of the singles to go on dates with, she chose KB. And her boyfriend was like, well, I'm not coughing now. So she was like, oh, if you're not coughing me, then another person will cough me. At night, she ended up having sex with KB. And KB was saying, yes, I'm the king, I'm the captain, I've coughed her, blah, blah, blah. Few days later, KB said, sorry, I don't think we can walk outside the island. She got angry, she left. Then after a while, she had a fight with KB, and KB was calling her names. That guy was so arrogant and so aggressive. And I pity his future girlfriend or wife, because he actually looked like a woman beater. That guy was very aggressive, calling her names, that the sex was bad. I'm like, who does that? It was very irritating to watch. Now, moving on to Rick. Rick had a girl called Medina. Medina was all over Rick. She was all over that boy. She was seducing him, trying to make him like have sex with her, trying to make him touch her, trying to make him get intimate with her. But because Rick was on the island to prove his own loyalty, he didn't really want to do those things. But he eventually kissed her. He eventually allowed her in his bed. And at a point, Medina made him like touch her breast and everything, but he made sure not to have sex with her, so they never had sex. But he still cheated as well. So both of them are actually scums. But the girl cheated first on their first night on the island. She cheated first. At the final bonfire, Rick decided to forgive Ashley. Instead of Medina that was there, Medina was hoping Rick would come and take her home. But no, Rick forgave Ashley. Maybe because he had cheated on her in the past too, and she forgave him. So Rick forgave Ashley and they left the island as a couple. Few months later, we heard that they've broken up because it did not work out. At the reunion, Medina and Ashley were at each other's throats. And it was actually very irritating for me to watch. But Medina, what is your problem? She was at Ashley's throat. She was at her throat. Like, anytime Ashley says something that doesn't even have to do with Rick, she was always interrupting, cutting in, trying to... I'm like... So it was very obvious that at that point, Medina and Rick were actually sleeping together. Because at a point, Rick even kissed her. But then a few months after the reunion, Rick was like, I'm single, I'm not in any relationship, which means he did not work out with Medina. Why was Medina now acting like he had given her a ring or something? So the second couple is Ashley H and Cassie. There were two Ashleys during season 2, so they named them Ashley G and Ashley H. So Ashley H and Cassie had dated for 1.5 years before the show, and they were on the show. I think Cassie brought them to the show, and that Cassie, he didn't do anything substantially wrong, to be honest, but it was just very childish, very weird. And there was one statement he made. It was like, if he broke up with Ashley at that moment, he would not even feel bad. And they showed Ashley at the bonfire. That got her angry, and she started giving one boy attention. She started giving two boys actually attention. But their names are Ben and Rick. So she and Ben and Rick were like very close. She was talking like they were like a triangle. So Ashley, Ben, and Rick. At a point, she now chose Ben instead of Rick. She chose Ben. So at a point, she and Ben got intimate. They started kissing. I'm not sure they ever had sex, but they kissed and everything. They really kissed. They were very intimate. They claimed to be in love with each other. And at the final bonfire, he proposed to Ashley, someone he doesn't mind breaking up with. But Ashley said, no, I am not marrying you. It was very emotional and very dramatic. He was like, I love you, I want you to be my baby, blah, blah, blah. Ashley said no. So he had to leave the island single. It was very crazy. Ashley left the island with Ben, a new found love. But guess what? Few months later, Ben broke up with her. At the reunion, Cassie didn't come because they didn't want to like relive the whole experience. At the reunion, they asked Ashley and Ben what happened. Ashley said Ben broke up with her after going camping with some girls and saying that, oh, I don't think I'm ready for a relationship right now. While Ben said, no, that was not what happened because he broke up with her when she hooked up with her ex-boyfriend, which is Cassie, and they kissed or something. She was like, they only kissed, they didn't do anything else. And me, from my own research, I think Ben broke up with her because he wasn't ready to commit to anybody. So, but he found out that Ashley hooked up with Cassie, so he held on to that as his excuse for messing up. That Ben played her. See, I don't understand why you will leave the island with one of the single girls or the single guys, because these people were probably telling you everything you wanted to hear. Aside from the fact that there were cameras around, it was just 4 weeks. It's impossible to like really know them, except your partner actually did something significantly wrong and you be like, okay, I cannot be with this person again. Choosing someone new over your old partner that you dated for more than a year plus is actually very crazy, because what were you expecting? They can go, like, if people can leave the island and they start showing their true colors. So leaving your love or leaving someone you actually like to follow a new person will probably not end well. And I think that was what happened to Ashley, because although Cassie was actually moving very well, I would have preferred her to live single rather than going with Ben. Although Ben appeared to be someone lovey-dovey, but he actually played that. He only told her everything she wanted to hear, and he broke her heart using the fact that she hooked up with somebody as an excuse. He couldn't even make up an excuse for himself after Ashley told him that you went camping with some girls and then you broke up with me. He couldn't even say anything because it was true. He only lied to her and he played her. And the third couple are Gavin and Esonika. I'm not sure they had major issue before the show. They just went there to like just test their relationship and all. So I think the guy took them there. The only mistake the guy made, because the guy did not kiss anybody, he didn't allow anybody in his bed. I think the only mistake or the only thing Esonika had against him was the fact that he sucked someone's toes. Please guys, is sucking someone's toes enough reason to break up with the person or enough reason to cheat? He sucked someone's toes and it was during a pool party. They were having a pool party. The legs were, or the toes were very close to his mouth and he just sucked them. They were just having fun. It was not a big deal. I know it can be annoying for someone that probably has been kissing that mouth or will still probably kiss the mouth. But then I don't think it was, but she was very angry about the fact that he sucked toes and all. Then she, Esonika, on the other end, she liked a guy called Karim. She was taking Karim on every date. They were building that the emotional connection, and that was the setup. On a show like that, just keep going out with different people so you don't feel any attachment to anybody. She kept going out with Karim every time. So slowly, he started from peck. Then he started from hug to peck to kiss till they had sex. I think on the final week, their final week on the island, she allowed the boy to sleep on her bed and they had sex. At the reunion, at the final bonfire, they went their separate ways. That guy was angry about the fact that she had sex with someone. He was angry. He went home single. While Esonika left with Karim. And even after the show, She and Karim didn't date like that. They went their separate ways. At the reunion, I think Gavin and Esonika met after the show and they talked and everything. But she didn't tell him about the sex. I think she lied about the sex part. And one thing that makes Temptation Island different from Love Island is the fact that Love Island is done in real time. Like they record it, they record the whole 24 hours and they show it the next day. But Temptation Island is not like that. I think it is pre-recorded. They record the entire show, then wait for like few months after editing and all to show us the entire show. So I think she left out some part in her story, hoping the camera will not show it. But unfortunately for her, the camera showed it. And even at the reunion, they showed it again. And she was speechless. She was very embarrassed. It was very, very embarrassing for her. And I actually understood her because she said that's not her person. It was like a moment of weakness for her because they had been building emotional attachment and things just escalated. So it was like a moment of weakness for her. She's not that kind of person to like cheat and all. So it was very embarrassing for her. And she even walked out of the reunion because she didn't want to like go through that emotions again, because okay, yeah, I made a mistake, let's move on, leave me alone and all. But she didn't have the right attitude. The guy had every right to be angry that he cheated, but she was like, okay, it was a mistake, can we move on, can we do the, like, she didn't really have the right attitude. She wasn't really taking responsibility for her own mistake. Yeah, that's not your kind of person, you made a mistake, but it is on you, it is not on the guy. She didn't have the right attitude, and the guy had every right to be angry. And to our last couple, David and Kate. These ones are dated for 3 years before the show. But guess what? You know, I said Evan was the scum of season 1. David was the scum of season 2. His own scumness is even different from Evan's scumness. Like, big ass scum. This guy had threesome. Like, not sex, but they kissed. They were touching each other. It was very, very, very intimate. They had the shower moment. He had the shower moment with 2 girls, kissed 2 girls, had touched, and they had very, very intimate moments. But they didn't have sex with 2 girls on his bed. Or like the first week, just their first week on the island, this guy had done all that. And his girlfriend was left dumbfounded. She was crying. Kate was crying like, what? This is not the boy I came to this island with. They went to the island to like, for him to like prove that he's loyal and everything, because they had cheated on her before the island. And this girl forgave her. And he was still cheating on her on the island that they brought him to prove the fact that he's a loyal person. He still cheated. Like, he had no iota of respect for her. None. Cause first week, we already having threesome, sleeping with people. I'm like, Funniest part, and those girls were Samantha and Peyton. Craziest part is that 1 week after the whole show, or 1 week into the show, this guy actually started liking another person. Her name is, I think, Tonita or something, and that was the person he left the island with. He started liking Tonita and he started saying, I'm in love with you, I don't mind moving to LA for you. Then he had sex with Tonita. Kate watched him having threesome. She watched him having sex with another girl, making 3 girls in total. The guy was the biggest scum of season 2. And Kate, on the other hand, had someone she was liking too. She was liking this particular guy called Dom. He was there for her. He was like emotionally there for her throughout the whole process of her getting her heart broken by David. He was there for her. And 2 days to the finale of the show, they kissed. And maybe they had sex. I'm not sure. They did not show us, but they kissed. They showed us the kiss. She kissed that guy, which was right. She did nothing wrong by kissing the guy. Except this guy had cheated on her several times, even before she kissed someone. So at the final bonfire, she told the guy that the guy was crying, that he was asking for forgiveness. She said, no, I'm done taking your bullshit. I am done taking your nonsense. I am done with this nonsense. She broke up with him and left the island single. And this stupid David left the island with Tonita. He had a backup plan. You know that he's very childish. He was actually younger than Kate. Very childish boy. He left the island with Tonita. And at the reunion, the reunion was very crazy for that boy. And that boy, when you see him, you think he's an innocent person. He cannot even finish a bowl of food. Like, you be looking at like, this guy is a scum. Like, he doesn't look it at all. Well, they don't write it on the forehead, but he was just so, he looked so innocent. At the reunion, guess what we found out? Kate had forgiven David again. They were trying to get back Javen. They were trying to grow. I think they had already gotten physical. They were already having sex. They were trying to get the relationship back to where it was. So they went to the reunion as a couple, as a union. They went together as a team. At the reunion, guess what we found out? This David cheated on her after the show again. Samantha was like, Kate, woman to woman, I saw the picture you posted on Instagram and I know that is David's balcony because I've been there. We spent the night together. And Kate was like, what did you do when you spent the night? We had sex. And David was like, no, why are you lying? And Kate was like, you still want to deny it? He was like, well, I didn't have sex with her. I was like, this girl is saying she had sex with her. You're lying that you don't have sex with her. I thought you came here as a team. Didn't you think these people will be here? Didn't you think you should like confess to me before coming here? He was still denying. No, why are you trying to be like this? Why are you trying like shut up? Something. Guilt was written all over him. Kate was so embarrassed. Like, she was like, all her friends were insulting her for still taking him back, for forgiving him for cheating on the island. And now he cheated after the island. Like, this guy cheated on you before the island, cheated on you on the island, cheated on you after the island. And I think even after that reunion, she still didn't break up with me. But I'm very happy for her because recently I saw her post and she has a new boyfriend. So finally, she's out of David's hands. She has allowed David to move on. She has moved on with her life. And I'm very happy for her that she finally left that boy and is cheating us. But that David was a big scum. Like, the fact that I was still even denying was very annoying. He denied everything. And David left the island with Tonita. He met Tonita's parents, met Tonita's sisters, niece and all. But they didn't work out because they had issues of their own. And Tonita was even still angry with him. Then he moved back to Kate. And Kate took him back. That one was still thinking, oh yeah, let's try to grow together. Maybe you change. Maybe you become the man I want you to be. Kate actually took a lot of nonsense from that boy. And I'm just happy that now she has moved on with her life. And that's all about Temptation Island Season 2. I cannot wait for Temptation Island Season 3 that is starting on February 16th. It is going to be lit. I'm ready for all the craziness that is about to happen. If you also want to watch the show, check their Instagram account, Temptation Island TV, or you can watch on Watch Series. Search using Google. I think you should find it. Guys, get ready for Temptation Island Season 3. It's about to be lit. It's about to be a lit February. So like this video, comment if you can go for a show like this, or if you think it's a crazy idea. Share this video and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.